Hey everyone, I'm Case, and if the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 4s are on your radar, sit back because you're going to know by the end of this video whether you should be checking out before they sell out or if it's time to delete these shoes from your cart altogether. This shoe has all the tools to be the best shoe of 2026, but I found one major flaw in this shoe that has me completely rethinking how you should view this $250 price tag. After Puma released the Deviate Nitro Elite 4, I did like most people, and I waited for others to try it. It seemed like every review that I watched was saying the same thing, that the reasons you may not like this shoe were the reasons that you love this shoe, and the reasons you love this shoe may not be the reasons you like this shoe. So naturally I was hesitant, as I'm sure you probably are too right now. So with the uncertainty, my original plan was just to buy another pair of the Deviate Nitro Elite 3s to race in for this year. But being in the US, everywhere online, especially in an 8 to 8.5, said sold out. There was only one thing left to do. It was time to put up my own money and make my own decision on the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 4s. So when testing the shoe out, I wanted to make sure that I took it on a terrain that was going to be similar to what I was running in the Indianapolis Marathon. So I did my local neighborhood as well as the sidewalk adjacent to it, because this is the type of terrain that this shoe is actually going to be ran on. And I took this shoe out for a few runs. I did an interval day, and then the rest of it was easy runs with some strides so that I had a good indication of how it would respond and the overall effect of the shoe on everyday running that most people here on the East Coast are doing, which is, either on a bike path or in your local neighborhoods. So I wanted to make sure that the test was fair to what I can expect on race day. And after just 20 miles in this shoe, I'm going to share with you what I love about this shoe, as well as the biggest flaw that I really didn't expect, because it seemed not to be talked about in much depth in most of the reviews that I've seen online. So I'm going to give you the full story. For me, this shoe is the definition of high risk, high reward, and it's time to figure out if it's worth your hard-earned $250. So let's start with the dislikes, because if any of these are deal breakers for you, then why wait around until the end to find out? The most minor of dislikes is the price jump. From the Deviate Nitro Elite 3 that started out at $230, the Deviate Nitro Elite 4s are now retailing for $250 as of May in 2026 in the USA. Now, these are still on the cheaper side for race day shoes, but I do think it's worth mentioning. Next, there were some moments where I could actually feel the carbon plate, and it was a little uncomfortable. I felt it in just my left shoe in the forefoot right here on the outside. It felt like there was a rock actually lodged in my shoe about the size of a marble, but every time I stopped to check, there was no rock there, so I'm pretty certain that it was part of the plate. Now, I don't believe it's a sizing issue, because I have dialed in my sizing and everywhere else around the shoe felt the way that it should, so I'm not sure if this is just a defect in just this one shoe or if this is going to be a trend amongst all of them. And my last dislike about this shoe, and honestly it's a really big concern for me, is the durability. The bottoms are wearing significantly quicker than the previous version. How I train for races is I have a fresh pair with maybe a few miles on it, and I set it aside for race day. And then during my training block, I'll use a second pair specifically for intervals, tempo sessions, and some long runs, so that my legs know exactly how the shoe will respond. So as somebody who runs 50 to 60 miles per week, the way that I train just might be too expensive for what this shoe has to offer. So now, so that you can compare, let me show you the bottom of my Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s so that you can see what I talk about when I'm saying that the durability seems to have went downhill in this version. So here's a comparison. On the left side, you'll see the Deviate Nitro Elite 4s with just 20 miles on them. And on the right side, you'll see my Deviate Elite 3s that have 138 miles on them, that include long runs, 2 half marathon races, as well as a marathon. So now you may be asking yourself, why should I buy this shoe? It's a great question. Whether running a 5K or a marathon, for me, it's important that my race day shoe is light, comfortable, breathable, responsive, and also stylish. And for me, the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 4s check all those boxes. One of the major drawbacks I had of the Elite 3s was the toe box. I felt like somebody was constantly squishing in the sides of my feet, and I just didn't like it towards the end of a race. And I have to say that the Elite 4s smash this out of the park. It's exactly what you want. You want a shoe that provides enough support, but your foot isn't moving around in it. And honestly, the Elite 4s, they made a perfect toe box for me. It's nice and wide, but it's not too wide. And by far, this is the most comfortablest shoe that I've ever worn, whether it's race day or trainer. I mean, it truly fits like a slipper. Now, I myself have medium wide feet. I have a medium arch, and sometimes some of the Puma shoes become way too narrow, but I didn't find that to be a problem with this shoe. I felt this shoe fit me perfectly, and this shoe, once I put it on again, really felt cramped. There's a great heel lock to it as it cups around with just enough padding that you're locked in, but not enough that you feel overpressured. It's extremely breathable, and honestly, the top of the shoe kind of feels like, I don't know what it feels like. This shoe, as you can see through it. I mean, this is one of the most breathable shoes that I've ever put on. It's like a mesh material that just holds your foot in nicely, almost like a webbing. And after seeing a lot of reviews, I was concerned about the landing being a midfoot striker. But to be honest, this shoe, they kept comparing to this shoe, the Asics Metaspeed Tokyo Edge. And it does have a very soft landing. And what I found to be true for this shoe is if you want to compare what the back of this is going to feel like landing, you pretty much have to marriage these two shoes together, the Fast R3 and the Deviate Elite 3, because I believe that the heel in this shoe is a combination of the two, and it's, to me, a good sweet spot. It's firm enough that if you're a heel striker, it shouldn't affect you too much. And as a midfoot striker, it really helps me roll through my cadence nice and effortlessly. And last, they are pretty stylish. As you can see, these are two of my favorite color waves that I purchased. And in its direct comparison with the Tokyo Edge, I just find this shoe is way more stylish than this shoe. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a beautiful shoe, but I'm gonna give the edge to the Deviate Nitro Elite 4 on style. It definitely has way more swag. Overall, this shoe, truly, for my foot, it fits like a glove. And even though I have a major flaw that I found with the durability of the shoe, I really feel like there's no other option for me once I get on that marathon start line, because if I can have one race in this shoe versus 3 or 4 races in this shoe, I think this one still wins. I just feel like the risk doesn't outweigh the reward here. And the reward is a shiny new PB. See you out there.